Thank God it's about to take place.
All right, all right.
KNOC, Natchitoches, 240EY, Natchitoches. Throwbacks and good vibes all day, every day. We are 95.9, The Bounce, Natchitoches' home for urban vibe. And now, you're listening to Talk Back Natchitoches with Pastor Steve Harris.
Good morning and welcome to Talk Back Natchitoches. Yours truly, Pastor Stephen Harris. And listen, I am supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I'm hyena happy and peacock proud. I got my boo thing, my girlfriend, my sugar in my Kool-Aid, my milk on my cornflakes, and in the house. She in the house with me. Good morning.
Good morning. I think you're just happy because you can get me out early. I'm supposed to be still in the bed.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's a break. Break for Natchitoches Parish Schools.
Well, I understand, but I needed your help with the Natchitoches Parish Schools. I need you to help empower parents and children too, you know. So if you would, I know you can get a prayer through because you pray for me. So can you lead us in the word of prayer?
Heavenly Father, we come before you this morning, giving you glory and honor, thanking you for yet another day. Lord, I ask right now that you would have your hands upon the listeners and, Lord God, those who are supporting this radio station. Lord, we ask right now, God, that you would just guide us in the things that we would say on today that might encourage your people. Lord, we just thank you for being so great in our lives. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen, amen, amen. Listen, I want to shout out to the Stampley family. We've been close for a long time, known one another for a long time. The Harris family and the Bounce. Talk back. We just want to say that we feel your loss of Pop Stampley. Good guy, good man, and we are definitely going to miss him. But we're going to celebrate life today.
Amen.
And so we want everybody to recognize that we have a general that has gone home. He preached about going home one day.
Amen.
And so, as my daddy would have told us, he said, listen, I ain't going to be here always. And so, be prepared when I leave. And so, we just thankful for all of that. Listen, today, I am excited because, sweetheart, how long, well, kind of talk about your expertise and
Okay, just kind of introduce myself.
Yeah, if you could do that. Yeah.
My name is Tawana Harris. Currently, I am serving as a counselor / social worker with the Natchitoches Parish Schools. Specifically, I am based and housed at Natchitoches Central High School. This is my 31st year in education, and all of my years have been in Natchitoches Parish. So I love what I do. I enjoy it. I am getting ready to retire very soon. But I'm so happy to say that I'm not upset or tired of my job. I love the children. I love what I do. I love working with the parents. I love working with my coworkers. Just love it. I think you also want me to share some other things that are away from there. Of course, I am a member of 1908 Alpha Kappa Alpha Incorporated sorority.
Otherwise known as?
No, that's Alpha Kappa Alpha.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you don't know. But
You're
anyway,
part of the Divine Nine?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
I'm also a board member with the Louisiana School Counseling Association. In the next year or so, I'll be taking my office as president of the Louisiana School Counseling Association. So that's something that's exciting. And Lord, I don't know what all kind of organizations that I'm. Oh yeah, he wants me to make sure that everyone knows that I am a licensed professional counselor in Louisiana. Also, I'm a supervisor. So if there's someone who's interested in getting your licensure in counseling, please hit me up. I'll be glad to supervise you. I'm also a supervisor for students who are at Northwestern who may want to be in counseling and may want to do their internship or practicum at Natchitoches Central. I'm also a supervisor for those who may be pursuing your social work degree at Northwestern. I'm one of their supervisors, so I'll be glad to assist you as well.
And so with all of that being said, one of the things that we want to do today is kind of go over some things that will empower the parents to get involved, because one of the biggest things around the whole country is parental involvement with helping mitigate a child from. By the way, you've been counseling from about 3 levels: the elementary.
Oh,
right?
Yes, I've worked at. I started off in elementary, matter of fact, and then I worked with junior high, and now I'm at high school.
So, is there a difference between elementary to high school? Could you elaborate?
As far as working with the children themselves, I don't see a big difference in that all of them want to be cared for, all of them want to be loved, all of them want to be heard. Mm-hmm. And that's basically with the children. The only thing is the high schoolers are able to better communicate verbally what their needs are. Mm-hmm. And so you can hold, you can have a lot of communication and dialogue with them. With younger children, they just don't have the vocabulary to express what's going on. And sometimes they don't really understand what's going on. With the older children, they do have some history. Mm-hmm. And they're able to say, well, I've been feeling like this since I was in elementary school. Well, elementary children won't have that type of history and things of that sort. But as far as the children themselves, it's not a whole lot of difference, except you got bigger babies.
Yeah.
But they all want to be loved. They all want to be cared for. They all want to be heard. And it's not just, that's not just children. That's just people in general.
Right. And so one of the things that I've discovered is, that's just with my wife. I don't know about the rest of you all, but for 31, 32 years, my wife has brought work home. and what I mean by that, I've had to share my wife with parents, with children that call after hours. I've seen her have to get up and go console parents, console children, and this is not something that it's not you got to be called. This is a calling.
Now, I do agree with the fact that it's a calling. I do feel like if it's not a calling, you're not going to be able to hang with it. And you may dislike the job. But what I was thinking as you were talking, it's not the norm, it's not the standard to bring stuff home with you. Matter of fact, when I'm supervising, I'm not going to tell them that because that's just me. Just like you said, that's me. But I think that all professionals, whether it's, being a minister, a pastor, social worker, counselor, there should be a way that you can separate. Right. Especially if it's, if it's too much. Right. You shouldn't be expected to answer the calls after hours. You shouldn't be expected to, console parents and all of that. But, for me, it's just that God has graced me with that extra to be able to do that. But it's not an expectation. It shouldn't be an expectation that if this is a career and that's what you feel like it's a job, if it's a career or a job for you, when you clock out or when you sign out, then, you should be expected to let go of your job if that's what you choose to do.
And so, from my role as a board member, we ensure that every child gets a free and appropriate education. That's what we're supposed to make sure, that they get a free and an appropriate education. The free, we know, but sometimes our children are not getting appropriate education. And so that's where many times you come in at.
So appropriate, of course, is going to look different for every child. I guess I kind of think of it as like a coloring book outline. When you purchase a coloring book, you have like the outlines, but you have to color it in according to your own preference. So with that being said, each child has different personalities. Each child has a different upbringing. Each child learns differently, learning styles. Each child may come with different disabilities, mental health illnesses, just all kinds of things that make up that child. Some from a single parent home, some from a blended home, where the stepfather and the mother are together, and just all kinds of dynamics. So each child is going to be different, so you don't know exactly what appropriate would be. And we offer them like, kind of like a buffet style educational system, but sometimes children have different allergies, things of that sort, and you have to kind of adjust it for those children. So appropriate is going to be based on the child's needs. So I think in education, it's important for us to get to know children. That's what I was just saying, as far as like my job in the school system. I like to get to know children. I want to know, like, okay, who's your mama? Who's your mother? Who's your dad? What do you do? What do you like to do? What do you enjoy doing? Those kind of things. We just have to get to know them, and then we can find out what is appropriate for them.
Right. So in the private school setting, you can do cookie cutting kind of stuff that you got to acclimate to this right here. But in a public setting, it's not a cookie cutter, because we have to accept all children. We can't cull children because they may have a disability or learning or behavior. Let's talk about that part.
Okay, and let me say about even in a private school setting, I don't know so much that they have a cookie cutter approach in reaching the children, as much as they can determine if a child has disabilities, disorders, things of that sort, whether or not they want to take on that challenge and accept them.
Right.
Like they
but
can
we
decide,
can't.
but we can't.
But a public school can't decide that, no, we're not going to teach you because you have a learning disability or you have some behavioral
Correct.
problem.
Because I say even if the if that private school decides to accept those children,
Right.
you're gonna have to adapt.
Right.
You're gonna have to adapt to meet their needs.
Right.
Yeah. So in the public school system, yes, there are students that have all kinds of issues and all kinds of problems. And I think that, sometimes we forget, I think as professionals even, that every child is not the same.
Right.
And every child is not going to be that perfect, that picture perfect child that you may have learned about in your textbook.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you get out into the real world, there are real children with real issues. This year, I kind of switched a role in that my principal asked me to work with students who have behavior, mental health, psychological type disorders. And so I'm not as much on the administrative side and working with transcripts and that stuff. But what I guess I kind of was pushed into the reality and kind of, I guess, forgot about some of the stuff that children face. But every day I'm hearing about students who are, who have been sexually molested. And I'm learning about those children who are not really sure where they're going to lay their heads at night. Working with those teenagers who are parents and don't quite understand what parenting is about. I guess I kind of, maybe just in that administrative and all that paperwork, I kind of forgot about all of the stuff that they bring and that they carry to school. Like I knew about their existence and I've worked with those students before, but I think just in just the monotony of working in the administration and with that paperwork, that sometimes you just kind of forget that those children are there and that they are present. And that they do need that assistance, that they are children and they're not grown up.
Let's go back to that parenting piece.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the days, we didn't have as great a population of young parents. But now we've got a great big population of both males and females who are parents.
And and I don't know that it didn't have a lot of teenage parents as much as like they had support.
Right.
Because in my communication with some of my coworkers, I was just like, we've been having this conversation, and this one says that she was a teen mother.
Right.
This one says she was a teen mother.
Right.
And then I said, you know what? I was a teen mother.
And I was a teen father.
And so I think there was just like a lot of support, that it just wasn't, a big deal. I mean, I could talk about my own experience. I had my mother's aunts, all of my relatives who are like, no, you're going to stay in school. You're going to get your education. We're going to help you with this baby. We're not going to make it where you go and get some more, but we're going to help you.
Right, right.
And assist. And I think they have some of that as well. But some of them just haven't had some of the ideal parents and the support, so they don't even know they're coming to school kind of asking, what do I do with this baby?
Right. And we work close with the Women's Resource. And they were on just a few days ago.
Yeah, they have.
Right. And how do you all network? Do y'all network with them?
Well, definitely in my position, I think that at most schools, they'll have like a designated person who's a point person to work with them. But, other teachers and educators, they're going to welcome them to help as well, but they just may not have the time to do it. But surely we work with them. And sometimes you're just learning about resources. I got with our federal programs person just the other day, and I guess I kind of knew that the resource was there, but it's the communication piece that makes it come together. I had a student who was being tardy, not just tardy, but excessive absences because her mother works like a graveyard shift. And her mother had to come and relieve her first before she could get to school. So mom was getting off of work at like 7 o'clock in the morning. Well, her bus is already passed, and she can't get on the bus with her baby.
Right.
And so she has to wait till mom gets there, and then, get the baby, and then mom has to take her to school so that she can be at school. So she was being late or whatever. But anyway, so I got with Miss Rachel at the central office, and so she started telling me, hey, we got babysitting situations, and we give first priority to our students, because I was trying to inquire, can we have like the daycare thing back that we had back in the day at the school?
So we actually had daycares at the school.
We had a daycare at Acton Central some years ago. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So so that was a resource that I could use to help those students.
But there's more than that student. There's others in that similar, maybe it's a junior high level, even,
You're right. Or, and just letting people in the community know that this is something that's available. Because sometimes they're trying to help. So, and then just having to work and manipulate other pieces, because then I have to work with the director of our Department of Student Services and helping this child get these attendance, attendance situated, because due to her situation, I don't want her to fail.
Right.
When she's trying to do the best that she can, and
So again, we want to empower these parents, these children, to know there's help.
Yeah, and the parents, the support. So when the young lady comes and she's sharing, she's being vulnerable. She's telling me her situation.
Right.
There may be some embarrassment, whatever, that comes along with this, but she's sharing. So I'm like, I'm gonna get you some help, baby. We're gonna see what we can do. Her situation hasn't really been resolved because of the fact that wasn't enough to fix her situation.
Right.
It wasn't
got
enough.
Other things.
Because you got it. Yeah, she has some other barriers now that have to be fixed, because her mom was getting off at 7 o'clock. Still gonna get off at 7 o'clock. She still has to go to the daycare. She still got to take them to the daycare. Okay, she doesn't have transportation, so her parent still has to take the child to the daycare. That's not going to help her get to school on time.
Right.
So, so we still trying to maneuver and see what else we can do.
Right.
But anyway,
we're going to take a break here.
Okay.
And when we come back, I want to dive into some more deeper things. Issues that our parents have to deal with on a daily basis, and our children have to deal with on a daily basis. And we'll be right back. So, I want to...
That's a long... it's probably like a week-long conversation.
Well, I really want... Because these are when school board members can come in and make policies, or to look at things and say, hey, y'all, we got a great population of kids having children, and I think we could benefit them by having a school-based facility.
And I guess going back to figure out what hindered, what stopped it. Did it just the children stop having babies, and so you didn't see the need, and they weren't utilizing the services, or
Most
what?
of the time it's going to deal with money.
Yeah.
Most time on our end, it's going to deal with the bottom line.
Yeah.
We're so concerned about the bottom line, we don't understand that you might have to put money on the front end to benefit on the back end.
Yeah. So I don't know, but that may be something. I mean, you would have to probably do a survey too to ensure that they were going to use the services.
And we are back. I wanted to deal with some things concerning being able to get our children tested and things for different.
Okay, so that was just one problem that we identified. Of course, you got a whole lot more problems in the school. The teenage pregnancy thing is not going to be like a large population, just a handful of students who may need assistance in that area. But we do have a lot of students who have different mental health disorders, behavioral conduct problems, academic issues, that kind of stuff. So perhaps we should come from the angle that if a parent realizes that their child has problems, what do you do?
Right.
Okay, so I would say first you need to identify, is it an academic problem? Is it a discipline problem? Is it both? Because sometimes it could be both.
Right.
And both of them, one may be affecting the other. But academic problems, you probably should start with the teacher and see what's going on. If a child is maybe making D's or F's, it doesn't even always have to be that they're making D's and F's. Maybe you had a straight A child and now they're making C's. And there's a difference. You're going to start with the teacher with the academic stuff because you're just trying to see, what's going on. Don't go to the teacher blaming them or because you got to remember that we should be on the team for the child.
Right.
We're on the same team.
Right.
We're on the same team. We shouldn't be working against one another. Of course, I see both sides. I see sometimes where the educational professional may become frustrated, defensive, offensive, whatever you want to call it. And then sometimes parents come up there, upset. But I think we all have to just be reminded that we're on the same team, and that's team child, team children.
Right.
We're on the same team. So once you talk with the teacher, and if there's no resolve there, then you can always talk with the principal, or in many cases you have a social worker or a counselor on the campus that you can talk to about the issue to see where you might go. I would start with the school building level committee when it comes to academic issues, even behavioral issues. You can go to the school building level committee. That there's at every school in Natchitoches Parish, there is a school building level coordinator. You'll see SBLC. They used to be called SAT.
So can they come in and ask, who's your SBLC?
They can. You can come to the school.
Please
and
write
say
that down.
Who is the SBLC chairperson? And then that person should be able to assist you with getting screenings if necessary. Basically, they're going to call you in. They're going to set up a meeting. And generally, the teacher is at the table. The school building level coordinator is at the table. And any key person that you would like to have come to the at the table. And you just discuss what the problems are. And determine if there are screenings that need to be done. They're going to look at the educational records to see have there been discipline problems? Has attendance been an issue? Has academics been an issue all along? Or is it something that just happened? All of those things are going to take place during an SBLC meeting. But outside of an SBLC meeting, it doesn't have to be an SBLC meeting. You can start with the teacher, start with the principal. And if there is a social worker or a counselor on campus, you can start with them. If there's no resolve at the school level, you have district level people that you can contact in Natchitoches Parish. The person who is over the director, she's the director of the student services. That's Miss Felicia Pinkney. Give her a call. She'll be glad to assist you if she can. If it's, really, if you start there, she can direct you where else you need to go. But at the school level, you do have a lot of people there who want to help. For the most part, in my 31 years, majority of the teachers who are there, I would say 90% of the teachers who are there really do care about how a child progresses and about their student achievement. You might have a very, few that, may not, and they realize usually within that first 3 years that this is not where I'm supposed to be. This is not for me. So I know a lot of teachers who started off and they was like, I gotta go do something else. Let me go to my calling. But that's where you're going to start. There are screenings that can be done. Like I said, it can be academic or behavioral.
Well, how important is getting screening as early as possible?
Well, it's going to be extremely important because as soon as you can identify the problem, the sooner you can get assistance and you can get help. And specifically when it comes to like mental health disorders, behavioral disorders, you want to, because children get suspended from school. They get, teachers fussing at them and, you get put out of school, expelled and all of these kinds of things. So, you don't want them to have to suffer these type of severe consequences if it's something that they can't control. And in mental health disorders, especially, like a lot of people think that ADHD is a behavior disorder, but actually it's a neurodevelopmental disorder if they truly have ADHD. I do think that sometimes ADHD is over-diagnosed, but that's neither here nor there. The thing is, if they can rule it out.
Right.
Of course, the school is not the one who identifies or diagnoses a child.
Right.
So what you would be, we would do some screenings, just like asking the teachers and everybody, like, what do you see? Do you see that this child is not focused or inattentive or whatever? And then take that information, give it to you so that you can give it to a doctor or a psychiatrist who would be the ones to diagnose. You could also, we have a list of community resources, and I'll get that to Pastor Harris, where we have all the counseling agencies, what type of payments they accept, and every school has these. They don't necessarily just give them out unless there's a need or you see some type of characteristics or symptoms of a mental health disorder. And usually if children are having discipline issues, we give it out to those parents. But we have a lot of counseling agencies in town who can support you. But the thing is, you have to be truthful too about what you see. Because so many times parents be like, oh, I don't see that. He don't do all that at home. He's not like that at home or whatever. I mean, and now I feel like the parent knows their child.
Right.
Or should know their child better than anybody else. And I say it should because sometimes parents are not at home. These children don't know nothing about their child.
Right.
Okay, but nevertheless, the child, the parent is the one that's going to have the most knowledge about their child. A teacher may just get your child for that 1 year, and they just telling you what they see. But if it's been a history, if this has been a change, because both of those are going to be key in determining what type of help, or even it's going to be key to when you're sharing this with a mental health professional. Was this a behavior that just started? Or is this a behavior that's ongoing? They may even ask you, like, when he was a baby, did he have problems? Did he talk late? And then they may be looking at like, okay, maybe he has a pervasive developmental disorder like autism. Because, those are characteristics. So you got to know your child and you got to be able to share some things. But like
candidly and honestly,
and like
so
you
that
said,
the
it's
child can
important.
get some help.
The sooner you acknowledge that, don't wait until sometimes we have children who are being diagnosed with ADHD, oppositional defiant disorder, all of those things at the high school level, like they've never been diagnosed before.
That's too late.
And then in junior high and all of this, you think about, dang, he got suspended. Every year he got expelled.
And so the kids want to drop out of school, and ultimately, finally, when they're able to drop out of school, because they've been beat up by us. We didn't get them the help that they needed.
Yeah, right, correct. But so that's, and then just the self-esteem, the damage that it does to the child who starts thinking, I'm a bad child. Everybody thinks I'm bad.
Right.
And some, the self-esteem, or some of them just act out because they want to uphold, I'm the bad boy. I'm the one who, and all of this. But yeah, it's very important. And not just, like on the mental health side, but even when it comes academically, we have students, whether you believe it or not, we have students who come to Natchitoches Central, to the high school, who have very limited ability to read and comprehend. And then, now we're looking and saying, okay, why has this child never been, been identified before? He seems like he has characteristics of dyslexia or dyscalculia,
which is an academic problem.
It's a learning disorder.
Learning disorder.
Yes,
a learning disorder that I don't have. If I got dyslexia, I can't undo. It's something that I'm going to have to get some help. There
will have to be some type of accommodations and interventions on behalf of the educators to help. But, so that's the thing. So it's important to get it done, because when children, like you have children who are in high school who can't read, or they're looking at words, because like with dyslexia, they don't see it the same that they may be reading numbers and letters backwards.
Their eyes and brain.
It's a language processing disorder. Yeah. And so they, they're trying to do the best that they can. And then you have, like that very few teachers that I said, then you have who say, why you didn't learn, you should have learned that when you was in elementary school. And I must make them feel like, and, they're like, I'm trying. I'm like doing the best. So then they may start acting out, and that's not really that they have a behavior disorder. They actually have an academic or learning disorder, but because I don't want you to fuck me, and I don't want you to be calling me out, then I'd rather act up and make the people, let the other children laugh and different things of that sort. So it is important that you do it as soon as, because I think parents are the first ones who are gonna know, like, wait a minute. We just went over this last night, and he still made an F on the test, but he was telling me all the right answers. Then that's something I need to talk with a teacher or somebody. You know what? We went over all of this last night, and he got it right. I don't know why he's failing the test. And it could have been that you were catering to his learning style. Like all of my children, auditory learning.
Right.
So they respond to that. If you make a song or something out of it, they gonna get it. They get it.
Right.
But
and my wife would make songs out of everything, and they got it.
But then when you go and put it on paper, on a test, I'm lost.
Right.
Because now this is visual. And that's not my learning style. Right. That ain't what me and Mama went over.
Right.
So now even the test look like it's foreign.
Right.
Like, this ain't what me and my mama studied.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is. This look like some kind of foreign language. But, so it's just seeing things a little different. But it is important to know that there is help at the school level.
Mm-hmm.
And even if the first person you go to, parents, don't help you, there's somebody else. You have to keep advocating for your child. You have to call the school board, call somebody to get some help. Don't stop because you got frustrated or because a person had an attitude or whatever. Sometimes in communication, it's a miscommunication. And so it might have not worked out on that level. Sometimes we come, especially when it comes to the children, hey, we feel some type of way about our children. So the thing is, we have to get out of our feelings, and we have to know what we're trying to accomplish and work together to get it done.
We're going to take another break. We should have taken one, but we good, and we'll be right back.
You gotta stop me.
No.
Stop me.
No, a lot of times, the child is frustrated because, mama don't know what to do, or dad. But I want to do a workshop. I want to do one on this end and one in the camp area, so the parents can come out and get empowered. Have some others come out. Families Helping Families have been great to me.
Yeah.
When they call me, because Act 1 really is a good thing that the superintendent does the day-to-day stuff, but we are called all the time as school board members, asked about this, that, and the other, and that's not, we don't get involved with day-to-day operations anymore. We can't do it. So you calling about your kid and you're saying, well, I called the school board and the school board didn't. No, anytime you call me, I'm going to tell you the chain of command. First of all, it starts with the teacher. Get in touch with the teacher. Then I'm going to tell you about others.
And and sometimes a parent may feel intimidated. I've had parents who felt that way. I ain't going to talk to her. She don't know how to talk to nobody, whatever.
Right.
So sometimes you need a middleman who helps. Not to stir up mess, but that's the kind of person I am anyway.
Right.
But I'm like, okay, we going to have to talk with the teacher.
Right.
Now, let me tell you what you need to say. Do you need me to go with you?
Right.
And then sometimes...
Insurance.com.
And we are back. There are people who think that the school board member can do what they used to do. We can't because of Act 1. But most good school board members are going to direct you to who you do need to be with. One of the agencies that have been so wonderful for me in getting help is Families Helping Families. That will be on the list too. But we will have those things on our webpage so that you can see who you can go to that's outside of our school system that can help you. We want to try and do a forum where we can empower parents. But parents, if we do this, you got to come out. Don't wait till your child is going through this, that, and the other. Listen, you should want your child to be a positive functioning entity in today's society, being able to pay taxes. That's what we're supposed to be doing, trying to get your child to where they can work for themselves, they can fend for themselves. And when that doesn't happen, somebody has dropped the ball.
And then, too, knowing that there is help, and that's one of the main things that I want to drive home, that there is somebody who will assist, somebody who will help. Even if you have a negative experience with one of the educational professionals, it could be the school administrator, which is the principal.
And you don't know what they're going through that day.
It's still somebody who can assist. What I see so many times is that the parents just like, I'm off. I'm tired of going up there. I done talk to them people, whatever. You're frustrated. You got to think about this child is your child.
Right.
For the rest of your life, for the rest of his life. These educational professionals, they care and love them. Some of them will continue to be in contact with them throughout their years after they graduate and all of that. But for the most part, they're not going to be there, but you will be. And so you've got to push, you've got to advocate, no matter how uncomfortable it is. And know that you got to communicate when you come, or if you come to the school and you share your side of the story. Know that there is also another side of the story. So everybody has to come together and then determine what are we going to do for the child. Not, again, hold this stuff in and be in your feelings and all of this. Let's just deal with facts and let's see what we can do to get my child some help.
Right, right.
So a lot of times, even in my role, I'm just acting as like just a liaison, just a man in the middle to bring us together and say, okay, what are we gonna do? Sometimes I'm listening to parents. Hey, do your venting in here with me.
Right. Don't go out there.
Because when we get out and we go into this teacher, we want to help for your child. Now you go out there, with attitudes, and everybody with attitudes, we not gonna get nothing accomplished.
Right.
As many times the child know that you upset with that teacher, or that you don't like them, or you'll go up there and cuss them out, all this stuff that you might be saying at home out of frustration. Then the child go in there still act. That's why my mama gonna come up here and she gonna tell you something and all this kind of stuff.
And then you have teachers who buy into that kind of stuff rather than understanding this is a child.
Yeah. Don't take it personal.
Right.
I'm often telling parents and teachers, don't take it personal. One of the other things that I want to say, because I'm just thinking about this, especially when it comes to misbehavior. Do we need a break?
No.
Okay.
We're good.
There's an educational psychologist by the name of Drakers who talks about the goals of misbehavior, because I think that might be one of the main things that comes up with ours. They talk about when they're misbehaving, there are four things that may be going on. The child may be misbehaving because they want power.
Right,
they want control.
Right.
They want to be in charge. Mm-hmm. Of course, you have to let them know as the mother, because this also helps with parenting. You have to let them know who's in control. You don't have to get in a power struggle. And that's what happens oftentimes when a child is acting out for power.
Right.
They're going to start arguing.
Right.
And so then not only that, but they may be acting out for attention. Just want positive attention, or if I can't get positive, I'll get negative. I know you're coming to the school. I know I'm going to be the center of attention in class. And also maybe revenge. Another goal of misbehavior could be revenge. I'm going to get you back. I'll show you. You made me shame in front of the class. I'll show you. I'm going to make all the children laugh at you. That's in the classroom. But it may be the same thing when it comes in home, too. Hey, I'm going to get back at my mom. I'm mad because she left my daddy or whatever. She won't let me go see my daddy, or I don't know who my daddy is or whatever. Right. And then the other one is just the avoidance of failure. Mm-hmm. Failure. Yeah. I don't want to look like I can't read. Right. I don't want it to seem like I can't do, or I'm not as good as the other students who are in here. And I see that with a lot of my students who have been identified as special education students.
Right.
They're and so a teacher has to notice that. A parent has to notice that.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with coming into a meeting and saying, okay, I just want to remind y'all, when you ask him to read out loud and he's uncomfortable, he knows that he reads on a second grade level, he's gonna act out.
And then a lot of times they'll stop coming to school even.
Oh yeah.
Or they'll skip that
and in the high school level, I see it all of the time.
Right.
We're constantly looking for students and parents saying, I can't make him come.
Right.
He won't get up. Or, and it's not just on the parents. That's why, we can't like point the finger, blame. It's the educators, the bad teachers.
Right.
We can't say it's just their parents because we
Right.
don't know what parents go through. Sometimes parents are like, I go to work at 5 o'clock in the morning. I leave him there with the expectation that he gonna get up and he gonna put on his clothes and he gonna go to school.
Well, we were talking last night and you mentioned about sometimes it's not it's not a
behavior disorder.
Behavior disorder. It's not a academic.
It's just life.
It's just
life.
Yeah. It's sometimes it's just the way a child has been brought up, but that particular person may have been brought up so they don't know no other way but that way.
I think in society we're just so accustomed to pointing a finger of blame at people.
Right.
But it doesn't help resolve the situation. So, like even when I bring people in my office, I'm going to let them vent. You can blame who you want, whatever. But the thing is, okay, now we finished. We got the vent now, right?
Right.
Okay, now let's see what we going to do to resolve this issue. Okay, so if the parent don't know, she doesn't know. I'm just bringing my child up the way that I was brought up.
Right.
Or just lacked. Just doesn't even know what else to do. Sometimes it happens like that. It's just life. And so we have to even talk with our parents. There are some things that elementary things that I'm telling to parents or whatever, and you just think a parent should already know that.
Right.
We can't assume that they know.
Right.
I mean, we want to think everybody was reared up with, this kind of mama and dad or whatever, but the truth is, they're not.
The reality.
Even when the children come in, we expect them to know this, to do this, but some of them just don't know. And you have to teach them, not holler at them, scream at them, and try to make them, force them to. No, you got to just love them into it.
I wanted to. I know we got only about 8
this time
minutes,
went by fast.
But I wanted to open the lines up right quick for anybody who has any question that they want answered. 318-354-7712. Call that number if you think that you have any type of question that my wife will do her best to answer it. But at any given time, if you have any questions about anything concerning academics, behavior, how can I be empowered to better help my child be successful in mitigating through their education. We want to be there for you. Again, 318-354-7712. Call quickly because we're about to get off there.
Because I could talk about this like all until next year, and it still wouldn't be enough. And I'll say this as we're seeing if people are going to call in, parents, show your children love. They shouldn't have to come to the school. I think every teacher should show love and be compassionate and all of that. But if they can get it at home, if their cup is filled at home, then they don't have to rely on and expect the principal or the whoever to love me. Show them love and caring at home.
Right.
It always goes to the fact that we don't know what's going to happen on tomorrow or next year, but we have today, and let's show them love every day.
And everything starts at home.
It starts at home.
The education starts at
It's
home.
Parents, first teachers. That they know.
My grandmother was reared by the Joneses family. She couldn't read her name in boxcar letters, but one thing she pushed for is to make sure that those children got educated. And I think that's important, that we make sure that we give our children the best opportunity. That's why we took those children down there to New Orleans is because we want to expose them, and we want to do a whole lot more. And 95.9 The Bounce is a 501c3. You're giving your money into good soil. That means that it's been looked at. It's been dissected. They say they've been given the green light. So we want you all to sow into, because this is a ministry. This is a platform by which we want to be able to do things in the community. We thank those that are giving. But now, if you need a tax write-off, especially this time of year, you need a tax write-off, it's a good place to do it at, because we're doing some things, trying to do some things. Look, I want to bring in some of the best to empower the parents. We don't do that a lot. We do things for teachers, we do things for administrators and all that kind of stuff. But how many times have we had a conference for parents?
Yeah. And
I'd love to have a conference for parents to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, we want to make it free. But let me tell you something. Some of these people who are experts that you bring in to help parents, we've got my co-laborer, Miss Harvey, is coming on to talk about autism.
Yeah.
She's giving her life because she has a child that deals with autism. I'm bringing my brother on. He has a special needs child. And he knows the law like the back of his hand. He'll say, "Oh, we're gonna get in trouble if we do this to that child."
That's very important right there, to know what the policies and procedures say. Because even though I told you to go to
black and white
SBLC chairperson, they have in the handbooks. I know we don't read them all the time, but it's outlined. If my child has problems, these are the steps that I should take. And SBLC is going to show up in there, but know what the policies are and what the procedures, those handbooks say.
If you got special accommodations, and those accommodations are not working for your child, go back and get. I don't care if you looked around and it didn't work, and you just had done it a month ago. And you finding out, oh, well, this is what I think my child needs. This is your child.
That's right. That's right. If they have a 504 plan, an IEP, and they're still getting in trouble or still whatever, then that plan is not working.
Right.
They'll say, hey, we need to come back to the table. I'm trying to figure out why my child is still doing whatever and this is not working.
Most teachers, most administrators, most people want that interaction with that parent.
That's
but
right.
Now what they don't want is for you to be coming up there talking about who you gonna whip.
And the sad thing is, when we have parent-teacher conferences, the parents who need to come are not the ones who come. The ones who are having academic problems and behavior problems, those are not the ones that show up at the parent-teacher conference. It's the ones who are doing well. And we're like, okay, we're glad that you came, but your child already good.
But
your child's doing great.
It's because they have not been empowered to know what to come up and look for,
or
what
ask.
to say, what to ask. It's like what you said. If you was in a family that the only thing they did in communication was curse, let me tell you, I had a friend. We would tell him, man, you curse too much. And he said, I ain't cursing. I don't be cursing. And but that was
all at the same time.
His mama cursed, his daddy cursed, all of his siblings cursed, the whole community cursed. That was their language.
And and as you said, not just the verbal language.
Right.
If it's behavior.
Right.
If when I get mad, I throw stuff or whatever at home, then that's what they come to school and do.
Right. They don't change it. You think it's cute for little Junior to say or do different things, but little Junior will show you something. The little Junior will embarrass you, But look, we got to get out of here. Thank you, sweetheart, for taking time out of your sleep.
Yes.
My wife don't snore neither. I just said that at church the other day. She don't snore.
I heard you.
Oh,
I
I'm
do
sorry.
snore sometimes, especially when I'm tired.
And I'm trying to beat her sleep because if I don't, I ain't gonna get no sleep. God bless you all. God keep you is my prayer. We love you, and you can't do nothing about it.
I don't understand why you keep bringing that up.
Okay, all right. But
I don't understand why
we still on the. We still.
I said I don't understand why you keep bringing that up.
I'm just trying to see.
You brought it up at church the other day. I was in the back, but I heard you.
Oh, okay.
So I'm saying you brought it up on air now, so why you can't bring it up on
I
air right
just said
now?
I had to beat you to go to sleep. That's all.
I heard what you
Because you
said.
snore bad.
I heard the whole thing. I heard the whole conversation, what you was saying.
Well, listen, y'all. Anything else you want to say about them getting in touch with you?
If you have a child at Natchitoches Central and you're not getting any assistance or you're trying to make headway but can't, give me a call. I have a really good connection with my co-workers and the faculty and staff there, the administrator. We work well together. I got connections at the school board office. All the people over there probably know me or have heard of me or whatever. Hopefully it's good stuff that they heard. But I can get you.
And if you didn't want to talk on the air, we'll be here just a. Do we have to pick up?
No,
Okay, cool. Not right now.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get ready to go to a few, but we'll be here a few more minutes. You can call now if you really need to speak with us, 318-354-7712. And we'll take that call because I want to make sure that you're getting, your child is getting the best opportunity to be successful in life. One of the reasons I ran for school board office, I told my wife, I said, our children have had the best opportunity to make it. They've all of them attended a great school. The magnet school was great to them. Gave them every tool that they needed to make it. And I was looking around and I saw where other kids hadn't been afforded that opportunity. And my wife says to me, well, stop talking about it and make a difference. I'm like, well, how do I make a difference? She said, well, you can help change policy. And I've been almost 12 years now. And only thing I've always thought about is making it better for the children. And listen.
if we don't lose focus of that,
Right.
we can accomplish so much if we think about,
Right.
let's see what we can do to help the children.
Right. Let me tell you something.
Even policies and procedures that are made, if I'm sitting at the table, how is it going to affect the children?
Right. Dale Skinner and I bumped heads like two bulls and a pastor. But he would always tell me, say, Harris, it's about the children. And we may get into it at the school board office in a school board meeting. And he would say this, y'all, we're fussing about this, that, and the other, but it's about those children. That's what it's about. And he'd make us look so bad because, again, in his district, which was a predominantly black district, those kids and parents loved Jesse Dale Skinner. He made me remember that it's not about you. It's not about all the other stuff that we deal with. It's about those children. And if we do anything other than try and accommodate children, we only as strong as our weakest
Amen.
school,
Weakest child.
Weakest child, So we have to look out for all of our children. They can all be contributors. I don't think God made a child that he didn't want them to contribute, to give back.
He put a gift in
Right.
each one.
Each one.
Gave each one talents.
That's right.
So yes, he wanted them to be productive, and he had a purpose, has a purpose.
Right.
For every person's life, every child is here for a purpose.
Right. And I think if he wanted all of us to be identically the same, even identical twins don't have the same fingerprint. We are all uniquely made. And we have to just find our niche. We have to find what motivates that child, you know. And that's the reason we're trying to do other things. All children are not athletes and things. I remember when we had choir, we had children who loved to sing. We want to try to bring that kind of stuff back. We got something on the agenda this month with cornholes. That a child can get a scholarship to go to school, throwing some bean bags, you know, and one of the top player in the whole region will be at our school board meeting. And the kid is his dad and them moved down from, I think, Tennessee, and come down here, and they're doing a fundraiser at Northwestern. I think it's on the. I know I'll have those dates and things like that.
Pickleball is another.
Pickleball is another big thing. Mm-hmm. You know, all of these different things. We had one person at our school who played golf, and he got a scholarship. Brandon Helms, his son, got a scholarship, and I will always thank Coach Helms, because Coach Helms is the one who saw that project of our school at Lakeview through, between he and Mr. William Himes. Thank God for them. But anyway, got to get out of here. God bless you all. God keep you. Is my prayer. I love you, and you can't do nothing about it. You want to get a picture with me?
It don't matter.
I don't know.
You're the one who got me out of my sleep.